It's coming along. It's just the second break I've had in a couple of months. So, and they're two different breaks. I thought when I got the second one done, I thought it was because the nose hasn't healed properly, and it's a completely different break. So, just been unlucky, man. I haven't broke my nose ever in my life, and then I've broken my nose twice in the last 3 months or 3.5 months or whatever it is. So, it kind of sucks right now.
Luck
So,
of the Irish.
yeah, no, not this time. It hasn't been around me in the last couple of months, to be honest. It's deserted me, gone somewhere else. Maybe Becky's keeping it all or stealing it all. Yeah, I am happy. Listen, everything is to keep it fresh, not just for the viewers, but also for the talent. And I think it's I was there last year. I went to Raw, made the most of it, had some amazing banger matches, some great feuds, and really just reinvented myself a little bit. I kept pushing forward, and I think SmackDown is going to, as long as I get the opportunity, I'll do the same thing on SmackDown. And of course, the IC title is the one title I've never won. It's one title away from becoming the first ever Ultimate Grand Slam champion in WWE. So that's what I'm putting out there, to become the first ever Ultimate Grand Slam champion. I don't know, man. I think Boogs needs to start worrying more time about honing his craft in the ring, as opposed to running around with an electric guitar. You know what I mean? That's each and everybody's different. Different people have different prerogatives and stuff. I mean, he's definitely in there with someone like Nakamura, who's incredibly talented and who's been around the business for a long, long time, and he can learn off. So I hope he's studying, because there will be a time when Nakamura isn't there for him, so he'll have to go out there on his own. But as of now, all I care about is the IC title. I don't care what's around it. Like, I thought at one stage that the champions were going to get switched as well. That hasn't happened. So I'm one step closer to trying to achieve that dream and finish my collection that I've been working on for the last 12 years. There's not really I don't see any heads and tables, mate, to be honest with you. All I know is SmackDown are finally getting a world-class star that they've been lacking, you know what I mean, that they need. So Sheamus coming over to just mess stuff up, man. Just mess it all up for everybody and have fun doing it. No, I haven't really rewatched it. I don't really rewatch stuff. I just try and keep going forward. I've spent most of my time in the present and trying to go forward, and always trying to achieve the next thing, and that's kind of where I've always been. Maybe when I retire, I can look back and, oh, that was great, or I might throw that on, or you know what I mean, or I just, my sister had a baby there as well, you know what I mean? And he's like, hopefully he starts getting into wrestling, WWE. And if he ever wants to watch some matches, I'll watch him with him. But like, I'm always trying to push forward. I'm always trying to look ahead. I think sometimes when you spend too much time looking back, I just feel like it can slow you down. It can, stop you from achieving more, So I always, my whole mentality is, it might sound a little bit cliche and it might sound a bit like, I don't know, tacky, but my thing is, like, I always go out there like I've never achieved anything, like I haven't achieved anything. That's what keeps me hungry. If I go out there in my mindset where all these things I've won over the last 12 years, if I go out there as if I haven't achieved any of them, then I'll be then I'll just keep me motivated, keep me hungry. Yeah, I was super happy with it. Like, I think it was just a long time coming. It was obviously a bit like, unfortunate that we went in there with no crowd, you know what I mean, when they won the title. But and then last year the wheels fell off a bit because we had so many injuries. But you never know what's going to happen this season. Like, I don't think there's been any standout team this year. I think anybody can win it. I think you've got Chelsea, Liverpool, obviously got all their players back. I still think we're missing a striker. But then when you watch what Salah does against Man City, that goal was incredible. Like, we just need like Mane to be firing a little better, and Firmino to start popping them in. You know what I mean? And obviously Jota's doing a great job. He's for a guy who's not the tallest guy in the world. He's great at getting headed goals. It's crazy. But I think we have a great chance of winning it again, and hopefully we do. And we celebrate with a full crowd. Like, but again, Chelsea are in there, Man City are in there. I'm not sure about Man United. Not too sure about that. I don't like Everton are doing well. Yeah, there's a lot of teams that anybody can win, and it's early days. We're only 6 games in, so
Yeah.
who knows what's going to happen with injuries and the fixture list and all that sort of stuff. So it's a really interesting season. I thought last season was terrible.
Yeah.
I think people stopped watching, but I think not just because of Liverpool perspective, just because there's no fans, it was hard to watch. But
Yeah.
I think this year, I think it's going to be a hot season. That's why, and the Premier League is the best league in the world. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, no, he's great. Jota's great. I feel bad for Nunes though, because I think he's like now he's got like a really bad Spurs team. So I don't know what's going to happen there. So I think he's taken Wolves as far as it could go.
Yeah.
But Spurs they're just like that. They can never get going. It's one of those teams that just never seem to get going. Well, I did rub it in a little bit, but I think he was just devastated. So there wasn't really much more I could do to make him feel any worse than what he did. He was there at the game as well, so I think he thought he had a chance. But my only thing about it is I don't know why they played Harry Kane when they had Lucas Moura was playing incredible, but Harry Kane comes back and they put him in and he wasn't even ready for the game. He should never have played. I really think Harry Kane's overrated. I really do. I think he's not the player people think he is. I think his best days are behind him, to be honest. But I don't even know if that matters anymore. I just think his best days are behind him. I think a couple of years ago he was hot, but I don't know. I just don't think he's the player he was. Or I think a lot of defenders know how to play against him now.
Yeah.
So he'll always score goals, but I just think he's not what he was. I think we can push ourselves as much as we want, and then keep us fresh. And as I said, my mentality is that if I go out there like I've won nothing, then I'm always trying to prove myself and stay hungry. The key is to staying hungry, staying motivated. Sometimes it's hard, even for me. You know what I mean? Like the gyms and stuff, going to the gym every single day and doing this, your routine. Sometimes you'll wake up one morning and you'll be like, you just don't feel like doing it. You know what I mean? And this internal struggles there as well as external struggles. But in order to have a long career, I know what I want to do, what I want to achieve. I just got to keep pushing myself. And that's where it's at, just never being complacent. I don't necessarily think you have to reinvent yourself all the time, but I just think you got to stay hungry and push yourself as much as possible, because there are people who can somehow fall into the false sense of security of just being happy with what they've achieved. If you're like, oh, well, I've done this and this, I don't need to do anything else. You always have to have a goal. You always have to have something to aim towards and push yourself towards. And kind of some way, I'm glad I haven't won the IC title yet, because it's kept me motivated and kept me going this long. So, oh no, not with them, but no, I worked the door as well. I got some scuffles now and again, nothing crazy, but it's always been on your toes. You know what I mean? I always have to be on your toes, especially at 3:00 in the morning when people are coming from different bars into the club and just they're belligerent drunk. Keeping the Irish, keeping the Irish stereotype alive. But no, nothing too bad. Luckily enough, more scuffles in the ring than anything else.